His group couldn't decide in a game, so the store owner was deciding for them. Just like the last time. The store owner will pick the game of life.
やっぱり相手の提案するゲームじゃ不利だもんな。なんて言って互いの提案を蹴り合うもんだからちっとも決まりゃしねえんだ。リカちゃんの方は決まったのか？
見ればわかりますですよ。
He looked at my table and saw the fishing game there. Keiichi was surprised to see that my prediction was right again. He also remembered that I predicted his game too.
じゃあマスターはリカちゃんの予言した100億長者ゲームを持ってくるっていうのかよ。
僕は時々予言もできますのですよ。ニパー。
本当かよおい。よしよし。じゃあマスターが本当に100億長者ゲームを持ってきたなら信じてやるぜ。
そうです。ケイイチたちは100億長者ゲームで戦うことになりますです。
よしよし、そこまで言うなら勝負しようじゃねえか。あ、マスターを買収してあるなんてのはなしだぞ。
マスターが売れ残りのゲームを持ってこようと強く思っているなら必然の結果になりますのです。
I remembered it was covered by dust when he gave it to them last time. Since we had to buy the game if we lost, he was trying to sell products he had a surplus of. Therefore, he won't be choosing any game at random. He'll be looking for one with bad sales, with a strong will to do so. That will of his is going to make the pull of fate all the stronger. In that sense, there's no guarantee that he'd be choosing the game of life specifically. He might choose something else that's also overstocked. The owner finally reappeared with a box covered in dust.
ね、言った通りなのですよ。
He has a game of life box in his hands. The part of me that hoped it wouldn't be the game of life tasted bitterness at the betrayal, but the cynical part of me that expected it to happen found it amusing in a way. I felt like my personality was twisting more and more.
マスター、どうしてそのゲームを選んだんです？
ん？いやいや、本当に気まぐれだよ。倉庫の在庫から適当に探し出したのさ。決して売れ残りの一番傷んだやつを持ってきたわけじゃないんだよ。
When he heard that the owner chose the game randomly, Keiichi shrugged his shoulders in confusion. That must be his way of surrendering.
なあ、リカちゃん、これってマジの予言なのか？
ニパ
いやさ、村のお年寄りにリカちゃんはお社様の生まれ変わりで神通力があるって力説されたことがあるんだよ。未来の予言とかができてものすごい的中率だとかなんとか。それって本当なのか？
I was surprised that Keiichi actually believed the superstitious stories he heard from the elderly villagers.
決まっている運命を読むだけなのです。もっと言えば前に一度見てきた世界なのですから。
Spoiler alert.
チェックソ、ここまで当てられちゃそんなバカなとも言えやしない。
Keiichi seemed like he was just fooling around. He probably only thinks I'm goofing around and acting haughty because my random predictions all came true. I had hope for him. I thought the owner might bring a different game, because Keiichi once had the power to change fate. But that didn't happen. I'm not surprised. But I felt betrayed again. Huh. It hurts.
賭けは僕の勝ちなのですよ。
I speak to Keiichi sarcastically. I wanted him to understand that no one can change the path of fate. However, Keiichi did nothing but smile.
調子に乗るなよ、リカちゃん。運命を読めるなんていい加減なことを言っちゃいけないぜ。男にとって宿命と運命という言葉はもっともっと尊くて熱い意味がこもってるんだ。 そんなやすやすと読めるようなもんじゃねえ。
I had no idea what he was trying to say, but he made me nervous. It wasn't a scary feeling. No, it was closer to hope.
さっきリカちゃんはマスターが100億長者ゲームを持ってくることを運命だと言った。偶然であったとしても的中したのだからリカちゃんが正しいと言わざるを得ないさ。でもな、こうも言ったよな。
何ですか？
俺が100億長者ゲームで戦うことも運命だってな。
Yes. It was indeed his fate. Fate can change sometimes, with uncertainty in time. But the possibility that it would change in this situation was very slight. I doubted that anything would turn out differently.
なら、その運命とやらを俺がぶち壊してやろうじゃないか。
Is this cheating, though? I think this might be cheating. Keiichi stood up in a hurry. Then he started talking to Tomita and Okamura, his group members.
すまん、俺100億長者ゲームは持ってるんだよ。だからルールの裏の裏まで知り尽くしてる。
そうなんですか？
ああ、だからこのセレクトはフェアじゃないよな。
It's our favorite side characters that serve no purpose but to, be background characters.
マスター、申し訳ないんですけど、100億長者ゲームの隣に置いてあった他のゲームに変えてもらえませんか？
そうかい？わかったよ。じゃあ他のを持ってこよ
う。The owner picked up the game of life again and took it back into storage. As I remained there in shock, he returned with a game called Pop-Up Pirate.
これならどうかな？
あの樽にナイフを刺すゲームですよね。
どうだよ二人とも、これならフェアだろ。
そうですね。ルールもわかりやすいし。
Will that really change fate though, or will it just turn into the same outcome with a different game?
それにしましょ
う。じゃあ決まり。俺たちの卓はこれで勝負だ。
Keiichi winked at me as I stood there with my mouth open. It looked like he had just forcefully changed my prediction. But for me, it's not that simple. It was supposed to be fate. That's why the owner brought the game of life to the table. They were supposed to play that game. That's what happened the last time. That's what was supposed to happen. But he just changed that fate in front of my eyes like it was nothing. It's as if someone asked me to stand an egg on its end. And as I struggled to do so, Keiichi forcefully cracked the egg and made it stand up in front of me. That makes absolutely no sense, thank you. I should have a far greater power than Keiichi, but why was I feeling so weak? Was it because I wasn't trying to fight against fate, so I wouldn't get hurt? Because I was going with the flow without trying too hard? What was I thinking?
リカちゃんさ、さっきすっげえつまらなさそうな顔してたよな。それってあれだろ？魚釣りゲームじゃ嫌だなって不安が的中しちゃってふてくされてたんだろ？
そうね。今さら隠さない。
じゃあ簡単じゃないか。
So I'm a witch who's been living for more than 100 years? So I thought I was better than everyone, just because I can see the paths of fate. That's stupid. I really am so stupid. Keiichi tapped me on the back. He was urging me to return to my table. The sensation of his touch filled up my heart with emotion. I wasn't going to stand idly by anymore. I thought I couldn't cheat fate. I thought 2 weeks wasn't enough. But Keiichi just defied his fate in a matter of 5 minutes.
僕は魚釣りゲームはお魚さんがかわいそうだと思いますので他のゲームにしたいのですよ。
The other people at my table looked at me with confused expressions. Their reactions were scaring me. Right at that moment, I could really feel that I was facing the impenetrable wall of fate. Even so, I have nothing to be scared of.
そっか。じゃあリカちゃんは何がいい？
リカちゃんの提案する他のゲームでいいよ。
They accepted my suggestion and gave up on the fishing game so easily. That's right. I used to be much more aggressive before. But I became so tired and bitter and mean. I gave in to fate. But I'm not going to yield anymore. Keiichi taught me that. He didn't have any memories from his previous life, but Keiichi was still Keiichi. He'd never give in to fate.
久しぶりに運命と戦おうという気力が充実するのを感じるわ。やる気があればものの5分でだって運命は変えられる。それが2週間もあるんだもの。今回はもっともっと運命と戦ってみせる。頑張りましょうなのです。
In contrast to my motivation, Hanyu was wearing a sad expression. Looks like he lost. Look at you got beat up in Pirate Game.
そっか、おじさんの店の手伝いってんじゃ仕方ねえな。
ささやかなお店だけどね。
Wait, I'm trying to think, what was this story again? Keiichi never gave her the toy, and so I think she like killed a bunch of people or something? Is that this one? Or was it something different? I can't quite remember. But I think there was something along the lines of Keiichi realizing that he should have given her the toy or something like that. It's been a while.
でもさ、特売やれば主婦が殺到するの常識で読めないのかね。店員足りないのに卵1パックを一人様1点限り10円なんてやるな。
As we were getting ready to move on to the next stage, Mian got a call from work. This was fated to happen too. If I was still feeling depressed, I would have been disgusted with the situation. But after learning what it felt like to change fate, I was in a good mood. Keiichi and Mian seemed like they kept regretting that they were unable to settle the match. They really are such good friends.
本当にあの2人は仲がいいね。仲良しさんすぎてレナは焼いちゃうよ。はお。うちのクラスにはケイイチさんと近い年の男子がいませんものね。ケイイチさんにはちょうどいい男友
I
達
mean, there used to be one, you know, before he went missing and died. Or whatever happened to him.
それでもみーちゃんは女の子なんだよ。男の子にはなれないよ。それは分かってますけど、こうしていると仲のいい男子同士にしか見えませんわね。
Rena and Satoko enjoyed the lingering excitement of the day as they watched Mian and Keiichi happily goop off. The next moment, the owner came out from the store.
みんな、今日は本当にありがとう。おかげでイベントは大盛り上がりだったよ。
He was holding 4 paper bags in his hands. I remember. He gave us gifts as a reward for today. I think there were dolls inside.
大したものじゃないけど、これ今日のおだちんに。
あ、吉郎おじさん、私にはないの？おだちん。
He was giving them only to us. Mian didn't get anything because she's a family member. That's what happened last time too.
のが出てきましたわよ。
Is this possibly going to be another point of change? Who Keiichi gives the toy to? Instead of Rina, maybe giving it to Mion? Satoko let out a cheer of joy as she saw a cute doll inside of her bag. Rina reacted the same way.
わあ、これかわいい。お持ち帰りしていいの？本当に？
ってことは俺のもかな。お、なんだかやたら可愛いのが出てきたぞ。
Keiichi got a gorgeous, expensive-looking doll. It was by far the best one. It was adorable, even to my eyes. Satoko, Rina, and Mion were feeling the same way.
ケイちゃんには一番似合わないのが出てきちゃったね。
Mion started making fun of him right away. She was only saying that because she was jealous that Keiichi got a doll that she really wanted.
なんつうのか、プリティっていうか、キュートっていうか、可愛いのは認めるんだが、着せ替え人形はちょっとな。
ケイちゃんが持ってたら確実に明日から変な趣味の人扱いだね。
Mion just can't be honest with herself. It was obvious that she was just trying to make him give up the doll so she could have it herself. She should just admit that and ask Keiichi for it. But that's the cute side of Mion. I bet Keiichi can never understand that. Keiichi can't keep the doll after receiving that much bullying from Mion. He was thinking about who he should give it to. He probably didn't want to give it to Mion. Time froze for a moment. Hanyu whispers something in my ear.
リカ、覚えていますですか？ええ。
Oh, we got a choice? Oh, wow, okay. Well, clearly doing nothing will more than likely lead to the same outcome. The only change of fate we've made today is that we changed our board game, and we helped Keiichi change his board game. So I'm assuming that the outcome of the games was exactly the same, and the only difference was the board games. Which I would say more than likely wouldn't affect the path of time. Or the events that unfold. So doing nothing would likely lead to the same choice. Now we can also advise him who he should give the doll to. However, and that seems like the right choice, so to speak. However, I'm kind of curious to see what doing nothing would do. This game isn't exactly like a visual novel with a bunch of different paths to take. So I kind of have a feeling that it's going to just loop back. But I am incredibly curious. If we did nothing, what would happen? If it just loops back to the choice again, or if she interrupts and makes the decision anyway. But at the same time, I don't want to waste a buttload of time on a story that doesn't change. I don't think that'll happen, but imagine if it did and we get to the end of this entire story and we failed it and we have to go back to this choice. Alright, let's see. I thought about telling Keiichi to give the doll to Mion, but I stayed quiet because I wanted to believe in him. When we were in the same situation in a previous life, Keiichi gave the doll to Rina. Mion was deeply hurt by that, and the tragedy began shortly after that. If I didn't do anything and just watched him now, things were going to end up the same way. But I'm sure that Keiichi deeply regretted the fact that he didn't give the doll to Mion in that previous world. And while I was aware he didn't have any memories from that world, I was hoping that his heart vaguely remembered that strong emotion. I challenged him without telling him anything. Keiichi's contemplating whether he should give the doll to Mion or Rina. He finally opens his mouth.
ミオン、 俺が持ってると変な趣味なら、こりゃ誰が持ってりゃ丸く収まるってんだ？
That's a little bit different than last time.
ん？
そんなことは知らないよ。まあお人形なんて男の子の持つものじゃないよねって言っただけだしさ。
ほう。じゃあお前が持てば万事解決じゃないか。
Intriguing, okay.
ほれ。
Whoa. I gotta get a good picture of that. Keiichi tossed the doll to Mion as if passing her a basketball. As if forcing her to carry his bag or something. Mion's face quickly turned red. Feeling shy, Keiichi turned away from her. That was amazing. Keiichi just made a miracle happen again. He did it without any memory of his previous life. It was exactly the same situation as in the previous world, but he made a totally different decision.
ケイイチ。リカ、確率的なものかもしれないのですよ。
A strong will is directly related to fate. If his will to give the doll to Rina was weak, this might have been a result of that. But I don't feel it was just a coincidence. I believe that Keiichi remembers something in his heart, and because of that, he made some progress. Mion, having turned red, insisted that the cute doll would be a much better fit for Rina. Her attitude made it clear that she really wanted the doll, but couldn't be honest about it.
だからさ、おじさん、こういう可愛いお人形はさ、ちゃんとした可愛い女の子に渡した方が似合うと思うんだよね。私みたいなアウトドア系に渡してもほら、人形の方が可哀想というか。
欲しいくせに顔に書いてあるじゃねえかよ。
Nervous laughter.
違う、書いてなんかないよ。嘘つき、意地悪。
Mion shook her head with an embarrassed look, pretending she wasn't interested in the doll. Everyone here knew that she wanted it. We all looked at Mion with big smiles on our faces.
おいおい、別に女の子じゃないと人形は渡せないとか、そういう考え方じゃねえぞ。こいつは俺と今日の部活で熱い睨み合いをしてくれた親友への贈り物なんだぜ。
そうなの？ケイちゃんは男の子の友達にも人形を渡すわけ？
まあ確かに選べる範囲があるならわざわざ人形は選ばねえな。でもよ、男の世界じゃ相手に悪意がない限り贈り物は拒まねえぜ。相手の気持ちなんだからよ。変に断られるとかえって男気がないよな。
じゃあ女の子でなくても人形を受け取ってもいいんだ。
Everyone thought Mion's reaction was hilarious. Rina couldn't stop chuckling. Satoko and I burst out laughing too. Mion, having realized she was being laughed at, got even more embarrassed.
男が仲間に送ったもんだぜ。大事にしなかったら承知しないぞ。
おじさんがこの人形が欲しいからもらうんじゃないよ。
Of course not. Baka.
ケイちゃんが仲間に送るって言ったから、ケイちゃんの顔を立てるために受け取るんだからね。
Hanyu was cracking up too. She was laughing in a loud voice, knowing that no one could hear her anyway. But was this really a good way to resolve the problem? I thought that Mion's issue in the previous life was that she wanted Keiichi to treat her like a girl. She got the doll, but Keiichi still wasn't treating her that way. Still, Mion looked very happy. Maybe it wasn't a big deal after all. I'm sure that Mion will take that doll with her to bed tonight. She'll kiss it goodnight too. I could bet on that. It was written all over her face.
ようやく受け取ってくれたぜ。 人形1個渡すのに手間のかかるやつだぜ。
Keiichi turns around to face us, smiling bitterly.
ケイチくん100点満点かな僕もそう思いますです。あの意地っ張りのミオンによくお人形を渡せましたです。ミオンさんも笑っちゃいますわね。欲しいってあんなに顔に書いてあるのに痩せ我慢なんかしちゃって。
違いねえな。
こらおじさんの陰口を言ってるでしょ。こら
みーちゃん、バイト急がなくていいの？遅刻しちゃうよ。
もう覚えてなよ。
Mian seemed like she wanted to stay longer, but after looking at her watch, she started heading to work. Everyone was wearing smiles on their faces. Today was such a fun day. Everyone had lots of fun, and no one was hurt. I've repeated this same day so many times before. But this time, something was different. It's like I rolled a die and got a 6. And then I rolled it again and got a 6 again. I don't know if this was just a lucky coincidence or if it was meant to be. It's as if the god of fate is celebrating my motivation to fight against him. So I don't know if that decision made any difference. I imagine the lines of text change a little bit, but maybe they end up converging, you know, anyway, and not really making a difference. Now, of course, I'm incredibly curious. So I'm going to go back really quick and go back to that decision and see if changing it, what that does. Just out of curiosity.
ケイちゃんが持ってたら。
Alright, so we're back to this decision again, and we're going to advise him on who he should give the doll to. I remember that Keiichi's insensitive decision eventually caused a fatal ending. That was fate. Keiichi was internally thinking that he should give the doll to Mion. She was the only one who didn't get anything, so it would be natural for him to give it to her. But the hesitation he was feeling was because Mion was such a close friend to him. He'd been treating Mion as if she was a male friend. But it would be weird to give a doll to another boy. He was afraid that if he gave the doll to Mion, he would start looking at her as a girl from that point onward. He wanted to continue his friendship with Mion without thinking about their difference in gender. He didn't want to ruin the relationship they had at that moment. That's why he couldn't give the doll to Mion. Even though she was the only one without a doll, he felt so hesitant. Of course, that was only how he felt. Mion didn't agree. In actuality, she wished he would treat her more like a girl. I walked closer to Keiichi so I could talk to him. If Mion heard me telling Keiichi to give her the doll, she would resist taking it. I had to make sure that no one but Keiichi could hear me. I also had to make this very quick. I poked Keiichi in the back.
Huh?
Keiichi, the person who really wants that doll is the one who's bullying you the most about it. I was going to say that, but Keiichi opened his mouth first, even before I could say anything to him.
ああ、わかってるって。
I hadn't said anything to him yet. But Keiichi told me that he knew. I felt confused, not knowing what he just meant. He turned around to face Mion, smiling mischievously.
ミオン、俺が持ってると変な趣味なら、これは誰が持ってりゃ
So
丸く収まる
this
って
looks
んだ。
the same.
ん？
It won't let me skip it because the game thinks this is
まあ、お人形
unread
なんて
text.
ほう、ほれ。
Oh wait, so this is slightly different. You got my message just by getting a tap on the back. One tap was all it took. I don't think he would have done the same in a previous life. This is a small incident, but this world is definitely different from the previous one. Or could it be, perhaps he would have given that doll to Mion, even if I didn't poke him in the back?
以前の世界の記憶を受け継いでいる。まさかそんなことあるわけがないのです。
I know for a fact that he doesn't have those memories. But there might be something imperceptible somewhere inside his heart. He might remember some of the regrets he felt in the previous worlds. That's why he strongly felt he should be giving the doll to Mion this time. After repeating so many lives, I'm the only one who can even notice this slight growth of his. But I see it. It's clearly visible to me. Mion, having turned red, insisted the cute doll would be much better fit for Rena. Okay, so this is all the same.
まあ、
じゃあ
だ
ケイちゃんが仲間に送るって言っ
人形
ほし
もう覚えてなよ。
Okay, so that's kind of interesting. It does sort of loop back together and all end up being the same thing. But I think that maybe that suggests a couple slight differences from the last one. The last one we just kind of waited, and then Keiichi made the decision. We're like, oh, did he actually remember, or is this fate? You know, what does all this mean? She seemed unsure in the last one, whereas this one, she poked him on the back, and then, you know, he sort of like said, I know, and then he went ahead and did it. And sure, the outcome was the same, but it sort of showed him having acknowledgement of knowing what he needed to do. And that there was definitely still the same difference. But it seemed like there was more confirmation or more assurance of the difference rather than it just being a random chance kind of thing. That's really interesting. I don't think it makes any difference, but I am going to create a separate save here, just in case I need to come back to that. I don't think that'll make a difference, but if it does, feel free to let me know. Anyway, let's take a look at our new tip. Good times with Oishiro-sama. I was watching TV with Satoko and Hanyu after eating dinner. It was a variety show, and the performers were making the audience laugh. We were laughing too. Ho, 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 ho.
でもとっても痛そうなのです。みぱー。
While the three of us were enjoying ourselves, in reality there was only Satoko and me in the room. I'm the only one who can see Hanyu. Satoko can't see her at all. Hanyu responds every time Satoko says anything. Satoko can't hear her, but Hanyu still responds to her when she's in a good mood. It's like she answers a question asked on TV. You could even compare it to playing house. She started playing this game with the other people, because she can't communicate with anyone else but me. Hanyu always attends our club meetings, and has a good time there too. If she could communicate with my other friends, she would have been a good match for us. But I don't want to hurt her feelings by thinking about that. If the story of the miracle written in the old scriptures is true, if it's really Hanyu who performed it, she's someone who had tremendous power long ago. But now she doesn't have any spiritual power, and I'm the only one who can even see her. Hanyu has never told me how she lost her power. I just have to assume that her spiritual power diminished over time. There's a legend in the Furude family that says that Oishiro-sama will be reborn if a girl is born to the family 7 generations in a row. With my birth, Hanyu was finally able to communicate with a human for the first time in centuries. Does that mean that Oishiro-sama has returned? The villager's image of Oyashiro-sama doesn't quite match up with that of Hanyu. Especially when I see her lying in her belly and watching TV with Satoko. I'm really curious if that choice I made has any matter at all. They did previously when I played Umineko, and then I want to say there's been one other point in the story in Higurashi here where they gave me a choice, that the choices really didn't matter. The one in Umineko was like, I think you got some extra toys or something. It was that quiz, I remember. I think that was the only one in Umineko. And then this, in Higurashi, I feel like there was another choice they had me give before, but the choice didn't matter. So I'm kind of feeling that this one's going to be the same where the choice doesn't matter, but that would be pretty interesting if it did. So anyway, I'm going to leave it off there for right now. Definitely looks like we may be seeing a miracle happening where Keiichi possibly has gained the ability, maybe with a little bit of assistance, of course, but he's gained the ability to change fate in a way that Rika hasn't been able to do before, or at least she hasn't tried. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more Higurashi. Bye!